Good evening. Now I'd like to talk about graph a linear equation using the x and y intercepts. In a previous presentation, I have talked about the way how to determine the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So we can refer to that presentation in order to draw the linear line. For example, what is needed is to graph the equation 5x minus 2y equal to 10 using the intercepts. So we need to find the coordinates of the x and y intercepts. So the equation is 5x minus 2y equal to 10. So in order to find the x-intercepts, we let the value of y to be 0 and solve for x. So if we substitute for y equal to 0 in the equation becomes 5x minus 2y equal 10. So 5x minus 2 times 0 is equal to 10. Now we can simplify and solve for x. So the remaining of the equation is 5x equal to 10. So simply we can divide both sides of this equation by 5 in order to get the x alone. So the value of x is equal to 2. So simply the coordinates of the x-intercept point is 2 and 0. The same way, now we need to find the coordinates of the y-intercept. So this is the equation. So in order to find the y-intercept, we let the value of x to be 0 and solve for y. So the equation becomes 5x, 5 times 0, minus 2y is equal to 10. So we can simplify and solve for y. So the remaining of the equation is minus 2y equal to 10. So simply we can divide both sides of this equation by minus 2. So after dividing by minus 2, we get the value of y to be minus 5. So now we conclude for the coordinates of the y-intercept point, which is 0 and minus 5. In order to make sure and for the accuracy of the computation, we need to find the x and y coordinate for a third point so that this point lies on the straight line. So for ensure the accuracy, we need to plot 3 points. So for example, for the third point, let x for this point is equal to 1 and we'll solve for y. So we substitute for x equal to 1 in the equation. So 5 times 1 minus 2y is equal to 10. Now we can simplify. So 5 minus 2y is equal to 10. We need to remove this constant from the left side. So simply we can subtract 5 from both sides of the equation. So the left side becomes 5 minus 2y minus 5, and the right side becomes 10 minus 5. So after simplifying this equation, we have minus 2y is equal to 5. Now simply we can divide both sides by minus 2. So by dividing both sides by minus 2, we have the value of y. Y is equal to minus 5 over 2, which is the same as minus 2.5. So the coordinates of the third point, which lies on the straight line, is 1 and minus 5 over 2. So now we have the coordinates of 3 points for this straight line. Now we can plot the coordinates of these 3 points in the xy plane. So the first point, which is 0 and -5, this is the coordinates of the y-intercept. And for the second point with coordinate of 2 and 0, this is the x-intercept. And for the third point, which is 1 and -5 divided by 2, this is the point that lies on this straight line. So this is the plot of the 3 point in the xy plane. So this is the plot of the 0 and -5, and this is the y-intercept. This is the point with coordinate of 2 and 0, which is the x-intercept, and this is the third point that we compute for its coordinates in order to make check for our computation. Now we can simply draw the line through the 3 point and we can extend it. So this is the straight line for the equation 5x minus 2y is equal to 10. See that the 3 points line up, so our computation is completely correct. This is the purpose why we compute for the coordinates of a third point, and this point is lying on the straight line. That's all about how to draw the straight line by knowing the x and the y-intercept. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.